What's going on, everybody? It's your boy J-Man97 here, aka J-Man, aka Jacob, back with another video. If you're new to my channel, I do cologne and music reviews, so if you're curious about the latest music releases and you like smelling good, well, you've come to the right place because I review both. Now, let me get into this, explain what happened. This is like the sixth, seventh take of this video. The last take was going so well. I was almost done with it. And then I had a reminder go off, and it closed my video. It shut everything down, and I was like, dude, I was like a few words being done. So I got to do this all again. But hey, you know, I got to do it for the love of the game, you know. And at least it helped me nail the intro because that was pretty smooth. So, but as you can tell by the title, I am doing a music review for Jack Harlow's latest album, Monica, and I like it. I like it a lot. It's an R&B album, so if you were expecting a rap album like I was definitely caught off guard with this R&B album. I didn't think. And maybe he said in some interviews that he was gonna drop an R&B album, and I just missed it. But yeah, I had no clue. So it definitely took me off guard, and I don't want to say I was disappointed in that sense because I thought I was getting a rap album, and I didn't. So I guess I was kind of disappointed, but it makes up for it. It's 9 tracks, 28 minutes long, so quick listen. And I know I've said it quite a bit in my channel about how I want a length of an album, like 35 minutes to 45 minutes is like perfect. Not too long, not too short. So I know this one's 28 minutes, but it's an R&B album, so it works, you know. It doesn't get repetitive. It doesn't sound the same. Like, the production is super smooth. You know, his vocals are smooth, so like no one song sounds the same, which is good. So I like the 28 minutes here, and I think it fits well, you know. So yeah, if you like Jack Harlow, I feel like you should like this album, unless you just straight up don't like R&B. I'm not the biggest R&B fan, you know, but I do like, you know, some songs here and there. It's just not my preferred choice of music, but you know, I gave it a shot and I liked it. You know, I mean, I was gonna give it a shot regardless because it's Jack Harlow. He's one of my favorite artists, and I'm glad he went this route instead of the country route, because you know, a lot of white artists that start in rap, you know, once they get their foot in the game, you know, they become famous off rap, they switch to country, and I hate country music. So I'm glad he didn't do that, because I would not have listened to it then. I'm not gonna lie. If it was a country album, there was no shot in hell I was gonna listen to it. I do not like country music. I'm sorry for any of my viewers who do. If I offend you by saying this, I'm not saying I'm sorry that you like country music. Yeah, I can't stand country music. It's not my thing. So I'm glad he didn't go that route. So the R&B route, it works, you know, it definitely works. I liked it. It was a smooth album. Like I said, the production is really good. His vocals, he's singing, but he's not like really singing. So his vocals are just smooth, which is cool. I'm glad he wasn't like out there like, you know, trying to sound like Mike Jack, you know, something like that. You know, he's not hitting no high notes or nothing like that. So it works really good. His vocals went well with the production. They like complements each other. So yeah, I liked it. It's if you like Jack Harlow and you like R&B, I think you would like this album. You know, I was hoping, you know, well, not hoping, I was expecting a rap album. So it does kind of suck that didn't get that, you know. But looking back at it, his last album was in 2023, and he's released 5 singles between then. So maybe that's why he did that. or maybe he just felt like making an R&B album. You know, I don't know. So at least we got 5 singles between his last album and this one, and not just last rap album, all of a sudden R&B album. At least that didn't happen, you know. So we got something, and who knows, maybe later this year he'll drop a rap album. You know, hopefully it's not another 3-year wait, because that is kind of insane. Like, I think a project every year, at most every 2 years, but yeah, 3 years and up, I don't like that, man, because it's like, you know, pump out some music, man. And like I said, at least he dropped something in between that time. But overall rating, I'm gonna give it a 10. I don't see anything wrong with it. There's nothing for me to fault. You know, he's not. He went out of his element, which, you know, I admire. I respect. I respect that he did that. He tried something new, and I think it works. You know, we're probably definitely gonna get some more Jack Harlow like R&B albums from here on out, which is cool. So then, I just hope he stays with rapping as well. I hope he just doesn't fully transition into an R&B artist. I hope he, you know, I don't mind if he does both. You know. So I'm gonna give it a 10. I believe that's the first 10 of this year. And, you know, like I said, there's nothing for me to fault. You know, it's not repetitive. I like every song. It's smooth. You know, it's a quick listen, but I'm not mad at that because it works. You know, so there's no reason for me not to give it a 10. You know, I can't find a single thing to fault on it. So that's my review on Jack Harlow's newest album, Monica. Like I said, if you like Jack Harlow, you most likely will like this project. Give it a listen. And if you don't, hey, that's cool. You know, you like what you like. You know, you don't gotta like it if you don't. Me personally, I enjoyed it. I've heard it 2.5, almost 3 times already. So I give it my full, you know, I listen to it twice before I make a review. So yeah, I can't find a single thing wrong with it. So I like it. I gave it a 10. It's the first 10 of the year. So congrats to Jack Harlow on that. I am excited for the future. You know, again, I hope we get at least another rap album after this. But, you know, at least he's, you know, not being stuck in the same place. You know, he's not being stagnant. He's trying new stuff. And like I said, as long as he doesn't do country music, I'm cool with that. So that's gonna be it for this video. I will have another video for you next week. It will be a cologne video, so stay tuned for that. That one's gonna be a banger. That one is gonna be a banger. So, well, until then, you know, till next week's video, I hope you have a good rest of your week. You know, it's the start of the week, so I hope you have a good rest of the week. You know, it's the beginning of the year still, so hope you have a good, successful year, as I'm hoping for myself as well. But until then, stay safe, everybody, and most importantly, stay cool. Peace.